Okay, well, hi everyone, and thank you very much for watching or listening. Liam Hartree here today, and I've got a very, very special guest for you today, professional bare knuckle fighter, world champion for BYB Extreme, former MMA fighter. This man is undefeated in bare knuckle boxing in the mighty Trigon as well, a very unique and very brutal form of combat. And today's guest, Sam Liera. Am I saying it the right way? Am I saying that the right way? Yeah, good. Sam Liera. Brilliant. Obviously, as I said, we're going to be talking not only about sports, but we're going to be going a little bit deeper into the mindset that it takes to achieve so many great things in one of the toughest sports in the world, or I should say two, because he achieved some good things in MMA as well. So today's guest, super middleweight bare knuckle boxing world champion, Sam Liera. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and it's a pleasure to talk with you, to be honest, champ. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
No problem at all. No problem at all. So, starting with well, the present day, basically. I mean, I'm going to jump right into it. Becoming world champion and reaching such a high level of bare knuckle boxing. How does it feel to be walking around as a world champion?
Honestly, I don't really think about it. It's the same to me. Like I just enjoy doing it. I mean, it feels good, like going undefeated. It feels great, and then being the champion. But like, I don't let it get to me. I'm like, to me, it's the same as other fights. Just I'm just enjoying while it lasts. Like I know my time is ending soon. I'm getting older, and that's to me that's more in my mind. It's kind of sad. But what can I do? We all get older, and eventually we have to stop doing it, right? But like that's the only thing I think about. I go, oh man, I'm having so much fun, and I'm like, I wish I didn't have to stop.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, enjoying the journey, make the most of the journey. I mean, we only live once and all that type of stuff, so you've got to make the most of it. So, talking about being undefeated in bare knuckle itself, so far, I'd imagine winning the world title is up there. But in terms of your favorite fights out of your bare knuckle fights so far, which ones are you the most proud of out of those?
I never thought about that one. Let's see. I mean, I had fun on almost all of them. Like the one that was most fun to me was LT, Ryan Jet. Those were a little bit more, and even Leo Plow. Leo Plow's really tough guy. I mean, I really had fun in all those. Like, but the most I had fun, I'm not sure. I think it's between like LT and Ryan Jet. Those were the most fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great to hear about it like that because it's one thing to watch the fights, but to find out which ones mean the most to you, super cool. When we go back in time just for a moment now as well, when you switched from MMA into bare knuckle boxing in the beginning, what was your initial sort of inspiration basically for switching sports? Where did that idea first come from?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I would before even when I heard of Bernal, I'm like, I would never do that. I'm like, my thing is like I don't want to break my hands, have like messed up hands later on. But like the thing that made me change my mind was like during COVID, for a lot of people, it was hard to get fights or anything, it's hard to get MMA fights, and I'm like, before I would say I would never do bare knuckle. I'm dumb, but I'm not, I'm not that dumb, But then I'm like, during I think COVID, we and like a lot of MMA guys they couldn't get fights, so we're like, I'm like, we're training and training, like every time. But I'm like, but what are we training for? I need something to look forward to, right? So I couldn't get any fights. Then they called like, oh, do you want to do a bare knuckle fight? I'm like, oh, I'm like there's nothing else. So I'm like, oh, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it, whatever. I never thought I would do it, but let's try it. But once I did it, man, it was the best thing ever. I'm glad I got to do it. Honestly, I really enjoy it. It's so much fun. I mean, I love MMA, but man, bare knuckle is so much fun. I don't know. I have a lot of. I'm glad. I mean, COVID is horrible, but then if it wasn't for that, I would never done bare knuckle. And I'm glad, I am happy that I really got to do it because I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely. Well, it's awesome to hear that you're enjoying the journey and making the most of it in that way as well. Now, just to touch briefly on your MMA career as well, because you were in there with some good organizations. You got Strike Force, King of the Cage, Legacy Fighting Alliance. There was quite a few when I was reading up on this. So the same thing as the bare knuckle. If you had to pick maybe one or two fights that you look back on now as being your personal favorites for some reason, in terms of MMA, are there certain ones that stand out for that, or is it the same thing as the bare knuckle? You're just enjoying the whole journey altogether?
I'm just enjoying the whole journey altogether. I mean, there was some good fights, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I mean, all the MMA fights I really enjoyed, but like to me, the journey and everything, I just enjoyed everything. I think that there was one guy I had fun with. We went like the whole 3 rounds, and I forgot his name. Can't pronounce. He's a Greek guy. That was really fun. But what's called? He was a tough guy, and we went out. We went for like 3 rounds, I guess. But honestly, I can't even pronounce his name. I even forgot his name, to be honest with you. It's been so long. Too many hits to the head, you start forgetting things.
No, fair enough. Well, you've been in there with some great names as well, so it's good to give that a mention. In terms of your training and what you do sort of day to day, I think people will be curious to know a little bit about this behind the scenes. I mean, I'm sure you post about it and things like that, but just for people who don't see behind the scenes, what's your sort of daily routine? Don't give away anything an opponent can use mine, but just in terms of like the different sessions you do, or what you enjoy most about training, just to get a little feel for that, please, as well.
Well, mostly with training, like I would do the boxing part. I would just go to the boxing gym and just box. But then I would still go to do MMA. Like the only thing I do in MMA is just boxing and wrestling. Because in BYB we go work the clinch. So my thing is like still keep the whole like the clinching part and then the boxing part. So and then when I go to MMA to go spar MMA, I would just do wrestling and and boxing. That would be it. And then I wouldn't do no more kicking because I think I went to the gym one time to go boxing at the boxing gym, and I got yelled at because I almost threw a kick to the guy's head. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. And I got yelled at. So I'm like, they're like, no more kicking. You're doing, I'm all right, dude. So I stopped kickboxing, but I would just do boxing and wrestling. That's about it. When I would go to MMA gym, I don't want to get yelled at or accidentally kick somebody, when I'm not supposed to. But yeah, just I still train the same. The only thing it's just boxing, boxing gym, I just go straight boxing, and MMA gym, just boxing and wrestling. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that people don't see sort of behind the scenes type of question on the build up to a big fight. Obviously, you love to fight. I mean, that comes over. Your face lights up, you look happy talking about it. But in terms of the build up to a fight, people talk about these different type of things like visualizing a win and all this type of stuff. Other people go the other way, they put the fight out of their mind and this type of thing. But for you personally, what is going through your mind on the build up to a big fight, like when it's getting close, maybe in fight week and stuff like that?
For me, it's just like I visualize myself winning. I'm like, oh my, there's no way I'm gonna lose. I'm like, and then I'm like, I goes like I'm tougher. That's what I tell myself. I'm tougher. I'm better. I'm like, so that's what I put in my head. I'm like, oh, he's working hard, so I gotta work harder. Like no matter what. So I try to push myself harder and harder because so I tell myself he's working really hard. You better get your ass up and start doing this thing. So I push myself to do it. Sometimes I have to like yell at myself. I'm like, don't be a fucking lazy ass. Get your ass up. Go do it. I'm like, he's working out, and you're gonna be here laying there doing nothing. So like sometimes I go overboard and I start doing too much, and I'm worn out. But I'm like, I gotta tell myself that every morning that I'm like, even though I'm tired, I don't want to do nothing. I'm like, dude, I have to go. Because he's working hard and he wants to beat me. And I'm like, I can't let him beat me. I'm like, if he's gonna beat me, he's gonna have to really work for it.
Yeah, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Again, it's cool because other fighters will know about that, but for the fans and everything, it's something they don't see. So we're digging a little bit deeper there. Couple of other things. I know you said at the beginning, being world champion, you're very sort of low key about that and everything. It's an amazing achievement, though. In terms of the respect and the feedback that you get from people, or people being well known in the fight game as a world champion. How do you respond to that sort of recognition, even if it's from other fighters or even if it's from people now that you're the world champion, in terms of the feedback from people, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no, I know. People say that, oh, congratulations, oh, you're the best, you're this, you're that. I honestly, I ignore it. I ignore it. I don't pay attention to it. I just say, oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You know. But other than that, I don't let it get to me because one thing I know, like you're at the top, everybody's like, oh, great this, great that. But then once you fall, then everybody starts talking bad about you, like, oh, like you were this. I'm like, so I don't let it get to me because I know, like once you fall, then everybody starts like talking down to you, telling you like negative things. I'm like, so. But sometimes like everything to me, it's I ignore it. I don't let it get to me. I think it's like it's only temporary. But like eventually that goes away. And I like me, my thing is just for myself. I just tell myself, ignore it, just have fun with it. It doesn't matter what anybody else tells you. And I even tell that to other fighters. Like sometimes they tell me, "Oh, everybody tells is good to you. They're nice to you, and when you're at the top, and then when you lose, they tell you, oh, retire, do this." And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that, so I just ignore it. And I'm like, I don't think about it because
Yeah.
I do not for anybody else to give me attention. I just say, oh, thank you very much. I'm polite. Thank you. I appreciate it, and that's it. I don't really care for that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it very much sounds like you're sort of testing yourself and pushing yourself and enjoying the journey and doing it for more sort of inward reasons, if you like. It makes a lot of sense, but it still must be nice to get that respect when it comes. Something that the fans always want to know when it comes to being hit with like an MMA glove versus a bare fist, which one hurts more, or how do they feel different for anybody who doesn't know about this side of things?
Okay, to be honest with you on that one, I don't even know because I think I'm so into it and the adrenaline's going. I don't feel anything. It's weird to say that, but I know people are like, oh, does it hurt when you get hit with the knuckles? I'm like, I don't even know. I don't remember. Like I think adrenaline's going. I'm so excited. I'm having fun that I don't even think about like I don't feel anything. It's weird. So on that one, I think that I got that before, and I tell them like every time I go, I don't know, like I don't. I got hit with hard shots, but I don't remember anything. It's weird.
Yeah,
I don't. That's a good thing, bad thing, but I mean, I don't know what to say.
no, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I have heard that before, like, the adrenaline's pumping, and you're not the first person to say that. Also, last few things as we work to this. Obviously, the Trigon, the mighty Trigon, is quite a unique sort of shape, to fight in and everything like that. Sort of an obvious question in a way, but what are your thoughts on how that brings out the best in the fighters in terms of, having the narrow corners and everything like that?
Well, the thing helps out. It makes you like adjust really quick. Like one thing is like it's a small ring, so sometimes you think you just gotta stand there and just like kind of like swing and go crazy. But I mean, for some fighters, it's good. It makes you think a little bit better. Like, oh, how can you use a little small space to angle and move around? So it kind of like some people like to stand there and just throw punches. I'm like, my thing is like I like to just like be smart about it. I'm like I always tell people like don't think I have that much brain cells left. I'm like, why am I gonna stand there and exchange punches? I'd rather use angles as much as I can to avoid getting hit as much as possible, and then hit them more than they're gonna hit me. But everybody like because you think like so small space you can't really move, but you can. So you gotta really kind of think a little bit more and not stand in front of anybody. And the only thing I think there's this one corner they told me to avoid it because once you get stuck there, you get you can't really throw punches. And I seen it the first time I fought. I seen a guy he got stuck in that corner and he got knocked out because his hands got caught in the ropes. So I learned the first day when I fought and for BYB not to go to that corner, avoid it as much as possible. But yeah, it's just like cute. Like you gotta think you gotta move around and use a little small space to your advantage.
Absolutely, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, like I say, last few things, shout out to BYB Extreme themselves, as a company, as an organization. Obviously, you're their champion. So, can you share with us a little bit about what it's like sort of working with them and what they're like as a company as well, just to give them a shout out?
Well, yeah, BYB. I mean, they really help me a lot. They really take care of me, and they've always been nice to me. And what's called like and fly my like go with my family and they give them like tickets and stuff like that. So I really appreciate everything they've done for me, and they do take care of me really well. And I know people talk bad about BYB and stuff like that, but I mean, everybody has something negative to say. But for me, so far, my experience, I mean, they really, I mean, like I know they appreciate me as well, and what's called they do take care of me and they help me out. But what's called like I'm sorry, I'm not good at like sorry, I said it a lot. So, but yeah, I mean, they're good, a good organization, and what's called they do take care of the fighters. I mean, so far that's what I've experienced. I mean, it's great. And then I bring the fighters as well, and I know they appreciate that. And I tell them like, you know what, the guys are here to fight, and they take care of the guys as well. So far, my experience like it's been great with BYB. I have no problems, and they've always taken care of me even from the beginning.
Absolutely. So, last couple of things, and then we'll wrap this up. Literally, two more things. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank who has helped you along the way, in any way, shape, or form? You know, people you train with, or any sponsors, or just it doesn't matter what form it comes in, but just anyone you'd like to thank who's helped you and contributed to your journey, basically.
Yeah, I mean, my sponsors, of course. First, I have to thank like the people who helped me train. It's John, Matt from like the box training center, Mario, what's called Adele, Tony, and like they've always been there. Like I know sometimes when I go training, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna go train? We're gonna go help you out." So they would go there every time. I'm like, "Hey, can you go train with me today?" And they'll show up every single day, every single time. And then my coach Chris will go with me as well to like coach me and then hold pads for me. So I appreciate them a lot because they would take their time out of the day to show up whenever I could go there. So I really appreciate them, everybody from the box training center, and then especially everybody from the Den Center, Coach Ben, Curtis, you know, and Jake and all those guys from the Den. I really appreciate them helping me train and get ready for the fight from the beginning, you know. And then of course my sponsors who've always been there for me, you know. They've always helped me out and taken care of me. Casa Fresh, LA Vape, the Summer King podcast, uh, Taquizas Riberas, let's see, Hosted Connection, Casters. They've always taken care of me when I have injuries, and I have injuries all the time from when I come back from fighting. And of course, Massage Matters, and my good friends, Primos, Julio, Lalo, Paul, Big L, Hessler, and Raj, and Josh, and Andres. I really appreciate them and really supporting me through my journey.
Absolutely. Great to give them a mention. Last question for you. Obviously, yeah, you said at the beginning about feeling that you don't have that much long to go in the fight game. But in terms of the time you do have, what are your future plans from here? Who would you like to fight next? What's next for the caveman, basically, you know?
Honestly, like for me fighting next, I mean, to me, I don't know. I never like I know people all call this physical. I'm like, I don't do that. I'm like, my thing is like, it's not my choice. Whoever they want me to fight, I'll fight. I never say no to no fights. You know, they say you want to fight this guy, I go whatever you guys want. Send me the contract and we'll fight. It doesn't really matter to me. So to me, it's whatever they want, and I'll sign it and I'll fight them. To me, I respect every fighter that goes in there, steps in the ring. You know, you gotta have respect for them. I'm not really gonna talk trash to them. You know, like I respect them stepping into the trigon or any kind of fighting. You know, you have every fighter you get to respect any fighter that goes in there. It doesn't matter who it is. And like I said, whoever they want me to fight next is who I'll fight next. I really, and I know like while I was saying like I know I'm about to turn 40 like in November, so I'm like I don't know how much longer I could go on doing this, but I mean I'll go as much as I can.
Absolutely. Well, we hope to see you in many more great fights as well. I'm sure you will. Keep going as long as you can. Last it was tiny thing I forgot to ask the fans. What would you say to your fans around the world? Obviously, I'm over here in the UK. People watch BYB from all around the world. So, what would you say to the people who watch you fight?
Well, I like to say thank you for them for the support, and I really hope they enjoy the fights. I try to do my best to put on a performance every single time, you know, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the fights that I have left, and I will try to put a good show, and then hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I look forward to putting on a great show next time for you guys, and thank you for the support, and honestly I really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Well, champ, I just want to thank you for your time as well. Thank you for sharing with us so many cool things about your life and about your fights and everything you've got going on. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and best wishes to you and your family. You did a great job as well, because I know you did say that you sort of like that about interviews, but absolutely fantastic job. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you, Liam. Have a good day. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You take care too. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.